other one. There we go. There we go. All right. Make sure I can still see the chat. Boom. All right. It's that time again, y'all. It's that time again. About to go ahead and break down this NBA 2-game slate. Was trying to get this to you guys every day that we had to play in, but I missed one day. But I still got content and stuff posted, so you ain't even got to worry about that. Ain't even got to worry. But once again, back. We got another 2-gamer before the real action starts tomorrow. 4-game slate. Excited as hell to go ahead and see it. Honestly, can't wait to do some predictions and stuff like that for it. Hopefully my voice isn't echoing too much. I'm in my garage right now. But if someone's watching and it's echoing too much, let me know. I'll end up just changing spots where I'm at or something like that. But hopefully you can hear me pretty good and pretty clear on here for those that are tuning in. But real quick, gonna go over the 2-game slate. Answer any questions, maybe give you guys a parlay that you could be able to do for today's slate, which I actually do like it. It should be 2 decent games, I would think. I think it's going to be at least 2 decent games. Definitely believe that this will probably be the breaker in that that historic, the 10 seed is never beaten out and won to get into the play-in thing, because you have the Heat going up against the Hawks. That's going to be a good one right there. And then Dallas taking on Memphis. Memphis with a limp Ja Morant. And Dallas just went ahead and showed us. Dallas showed us that they can do it. They honestly can really do it. So with that being said, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe Know It Is off DFS, here to bring you a live breakdown for the NBA slate we got tonight. We got 2 games going on, and really honestly just shoot the shit. It's been a minute since your boy's been able to really do this stuff right here. So gonna just try to knock it out real quick, talk through it. If you guys got any questions or something like that, let me know. I got you. I'll answer it and whatnot, especially going through. I know people will probably have some questions and stuff like that. Hopefully you guys have been doing decent so far. These 2-game slates, it doesn't take much to make yourself different, really, because a lot of the ownership, at least for myself looking at it, has been pretty concentrated with it right there. If you guys, on the day that we had the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls, if you would have played Tyler Hero over Josh Giddey, which Josh Giddey was highly owned, Tyler Hero was like 20%, I want to say, and Giddey was like 65 or something like that, man. It was crazy. And, of course, Hero ended up outscoring him by like 6 fantasy points, but still, just that little difference right there. It makes a huge difference. And then I'm gonna get into Dallas, bro. I'm gonna get into Dallas, man, because that shit, woo, boy, Dallas on that. Dallas is on that, bro. All right. So starting out real quick, injury report, we got Miami taking on Atlanta in the first game. For Miami, they are expected to have Jovic back and Larson to be back. Kevin Love is still going to be out. Starters, if they're going to keep the starters that they've been giving us over the last several games, especially in the season, we should still have Tyler Hero, Alec Burke, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware. That should be the starters, so I don't think that changes. On the Atlanta Hawks side, we know Trae Young, he got ejected last game, threw the ball at the official, and then, of course, played little peekaboo, whatever, with him as he was leaving the court. But Trae Young is expected to play over there for them. They're still just without Clint Capella, Larry Nance. Starters is expected for Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Ricochet, Guy, and Onyeka Okongwu over there. Dallas taking on Memphis in that game real quick. Dallas is, I give it to Jason Kidd. I give it to Kidd. And I also blame myself. I didn't pay attention to the starters in that game, and that messed me up because I thought Spencer Dinwiddie was starting. Guy ended up doing some other shit. Didn't see that they decided that they were going to go really big. Instead, they were going to start Najee Marsh at the point, Klay Thompson, P.J. Washington, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively. Very big lineup, and I do believe they probably will run it back here again today. Of course, we're going to have to pay attention and see what they do with that. Same thing, Memphis. They actually threw a little bit of a monkey wrench, somewhat, but we should have been able to see this coming. They went ahead and they started Ja Morant, Scottie Pippen Jr., Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Zach Edey. Not a bad line. Only difference over here was the fact that they actually started Scottie Pippen Jr. For Wells, who's injured and out and is not going to play. But, of course, you guys aren't going to be able to see the DraftKings because I am live. I'm recording this on my phone. I am looking at it on my laptop. And so first things first, looking over here at Miami. Miami, we got Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Andrew Wiggins, Khalil Ware. That whole starting lineup, all of them look pretty good to me. Definitely some value in regards to going to Andrew Wiggins, who played very well in that first game going against Chicago. And I think this is going to be another spot where he can play pretty well here. 7,600 is a nice sweet spot if you want to get one of the big three over here technically for Miami. Not bad. 35 minutes in that game versus Miami, 45.75 fantasy points. Definitely do feel like the fact that he can stuff the stat sheet, give us some defensive stats, those rebounds, and also go out there and score. Definitely makes for a pretty good spot for him. I don't hate that at all. Tyler Hero, he of course should be dealing with that Dyson Daniels defense, but Hero has shown that he can play going up against Atlanta. He's had some decent games versus them on the season. I definitely don't mind going over here to Hero when it comes down to it. Last game versus Atlanta, he played 38 minutes and he dropped 49.75 fantasy points in that game. Shot 13 and 17 from the field. A couple of assists, but really just got it going. Was very hot from three. 4-6 from three over there as well. So definitely we can go to Tyler Hero. Makes for a pay-up option, especially for the fact when you look at it, it's just going to depend. Am I playing Trae Young? That's the question that you got to ask. Am I going to play Trae Young, even though he is going to be dealing with that Davion Mitchell defense? Like, that is where most of the defensive pressure that he should be dealing with off of the point of attack and everything should be coming from Davion. We've seen Davion. The dude's a feisty defender. He is very much a feisty defender. Gets all up in your shit. When it comes down to it size-wise, Davion actually will be able to match up with Trae because they are both small guards. So this should be a very interesting matchup nonetheless for him. But when it comes down to it, looking at it, for me, value over here on Miami. Davion, he's going to play the minutes off the bench. He's going to be out there. I love him. 5,500, I think, is honestly cheap for a player who I honestly think, even with Jovic, with Larson, and then being back, I see no reason to pull Davion off the court and not go ahead and let him play like what he did in the first game. He played 33 minutes in that game. 33 minutes, the game got out of hand, blowout, whatever, but still, he was a big part in regards to them getting there. And we know he can play make, had 9 assists in that game going up against Chicago. In the game earlier in the season when he played versus Atlanta, he played 36 minutes in that game versus them, dropped 31.5 fantasy points. I can definitely see myself going back there. He can score as well. And he should be dealing with Trae Young defense on the opposite side. When it comes down to it, he's defending Trae Young and also should be defended by Trae whenever you look at it, because again, Dyson Daniels should be dealing with Tyler Hero. That should be the matchup right there. All the other bigs, they'll be onto their main assignments in regards to Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware, whenever he's actually out there on the court. And then Alex Burke. You could possibly hide Trae Young on Alex Burke because he is more of just a spot-up shooter, not necessarily out there going to create his own shot or anything like that. But give or take, either way, still, Davion Mitchell makes for a really great play at 5,500. Now, if you're looking at some value, Alex Burke, 3,600. Atlanta Hawks, they give up a ton of three-pointers. Again, if he catches fire, he shot over 3 from 3 going up against Chicago in the first game. But going up against Atlanta when he played them, he played 16 minutes in that game, gave us 16.25 fantasy points at 3,600. When the value over there on Dallas kind of has got bumped up already. I don't hate that at all for Alex Burke. Right now, it looks like he's not going to get us to 0. If he can get us to 10, 15 points, 3,600, I mean, there's worse options that you can go out there and get a big fat 0 from Spencer Dinwiddie. That's your other option that you got right there. Outside of that, Kyle Anderson, Highsmith, both those guys, I expect them to be in the rotation. They are in the big rotation. Kyle Anderson will be more of the safer play. I definitely do think he has a bit more of an upside. Everyone else over here, I'm not really necessarily looking at Joe Vick. Duncan Robinson, if you think he can catch fire from 3, which, again, he's in the same boat as Alex Burke. Burke, probably, 15, close to 20-ish minutes if they decide to extend him and give him that. If he's knocking down his threes, getting those shots. If not, Duncan Robinson probably will see about 20 to 22, 23-ish minutes, especially if he's knocking down those threes. We know he's out there for his defense as well with the length. So I could see taking a flyer on him as well. But outside of that, Jaime Jaquez, no. Christopher Terry Rozier, all these other guys down here, not necessarily. Favorite play over here from Miami is going to be Andrew Wiggins, just because of the value, 7,600, kind of hard to pass up on. Then right behind that for me is going to be Davion Mitchell at 5,500, just because he is going to be needed out there on the court. Bam Adebayo, 9,200. I don't see myself needing to get there. I would rather just go ahead and get all the way up to Anthony Davis instead if I am looking at that spot. Giving that information right there, Bam could be lower owned. Bam could be low owned. Decent spot, you could try to go ahead and take it. But again, I would much rather prefer, as you can tell, Anthony Davis. Switch on over to the Atlanta side. Trae Young, Trae is Trae, 8,800. Of course, we can go there. When it comes down to it, the top guards that we have on today's slate is Trae Young and Tyler Hero, because I highly doubt you are going to play Ja coming off of a rolled ankle, saying that he is going to force himself to play today. those things that doesn't mix, that doesn't bode well for me right there. And honestly, I would be a little cautious going to Ja in that. Now, granted, he did drop 30-something points going up against the Golden State Warriors on that bum ankle, but Dallas defense, especially if they're going to play with that size that they had, I would be a little bit more skeptical in regards to going there to him with that. But outside of that, Okongwu in that game um, going up against Orlando, I really felt like he was more in foul trouble, but still in 33 minutes gave us 29.25 fantasy points. I don't hate that at all. I think that definitely would be something I would get to if I'm not going to play mess with like a Trae Young or anything like that, or Dyson Daniels. I definitely can see myself getting to Okongwu. I do see a point and going right there, going up against Miami. In 34 minutes, he did drop 29.75 fantasy points in that game. So not bad at all. I really do actually like that. Dyson Daniels, of course, if I'm not playing Trae, I do like Daniels. We know that he will go out there. He will rebound. He will also play make a bit. I just need him to give me a little bit more with scoring. Only 8 field goal attempts versus Orlando Magic, and I really felt like he gave up some good shots in that game. Definitely felt like he could have gave us a lot more. Versus Miami in 35 minutes last time out, he had 29 fantasy points. That was with only giving us 4 of 10 from the field, 9 actual points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. He's going to have to give a lot more, a lot, because they are going to need him to do something besides just run around trying to defend Tyler Hero. Scottie Pippen Jr. or Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell for me. Just in all honesty, I think the upside, because Scottie Pippen Jr., when you're looking at it, Don, Scottie Pippen still has Desmond Bane out there. He still has Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja in whatever capacity he's in. He's still going to be out there doing stuff. Now, if Ja's going to be limited or something like that, the upside could be there for Scottie, especially if he's going to take more shot attempts. But with Ja actually out there playing, I don't think we're going to necessarily see Scottie be as aggressive, just like what he's probably going to play in the same capacity what he played in the first game. So Davion, the blocks and steal upside that he has, the fact that he should be out there matched up with Trae Young, depending on how soon Eric Spoelstra actually puts him in the game, his upside to me is way better. And he's already shown it. I like the upside. 5,500 just seems like a really nice sweet spot, especially with one of the lineups that I built. It's really sweet. I do like the upside for him here. But finishing over here with Atlanta, Karis LeVert, of course, 4,600. He played the minutes. He did play the minutes. His shot was not falling. I don't mind running it right back to Karis LeVert. 0 of 2 from 3, 3 of 11 from the field. The shot attempts were there, 25 minutes. All that was there, 22.5 fantasy points in off of a poor shooting night. That tells me that he definitely has more room to give us some better upside right there. At 4,600, I definitely would take a chance right there, because, again, the 2 main values that you had, the 4 main values that I see are safe on today's slate is going to be Santi Aldama, because you're going to need him to be out there playing those minutes. We'll get to that when we actually touch on Memphis. Karis LeVert, because he is going to play a chunk of minutes off the bench. One of your best producers off the bench, as long as that shot is falling. Davion Mitchell, yeah, of course, for him, because of the defense and everything that he can go out there and do. And then I said 4, right? Yeah. Guys, not Days Dance. Karis LeVert, Davion Mitchell. I'm missing one. I'm missing one. I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't know why. It's going to come to me, and I'm going to feel it's just like really off whenever it does hit me on who it is. One center kind of night. Right now, in my mock builds that I built, I am on one center currently, just because of the fact that Anthony Davis is not a center. You don't necessarily have to play him in the center spot. So currently right now, the way that value and stuff is shaking out, as you can tell, Anthony Davis is kind of my, I am playing Anthony Davis. I kind of don't see how we don't end up playing Anthony Davis. Granted, I think he could have gave us a lot more in that last game, but he still played very well. So, yeah, I'm missing one. I'm missing someone that's I know is value, that I looked at. And honestly, I just don't see them right here on the fucking Hawks. Looking at Miami, Davion Mitchell. Because now it's going to bug me. Davion Mitchell, Karis LeVert, Santi Aldama. Oh, Brandon Williams. There we go. I was like, there is somebody that I know I said is like a key value play on today that just makes sense. Davion Mitchell from Miami. There was one from every team. That's what it was. I was like, I know there's somebody. But I'm going to touch on that when I get over there. But over here from Atlanta, I think Trae probably will be low-owned or lower-owned in my eyes. I definitely think that he will be someone that I could take a swing on, just because I don't like necessarily paying up for Ja in regards to what he possibly can bring. This is win or go home. And Trey, he's got to give us something. Last time versus Miami, 36 minutes. He dropped 55.5 fantasy points, 12 actual assists, 29 points. This is a great spot. Great spot for him to play make like what he has always shown he could do. Definitely do think that he is live for a double-double. I do. I actually do. Because Miami does give up quite a bit of assist. Even though they tried to limit Giddey last game, Giddey still was able to do what he does out there as well. But outside of that, really, O'Connell, Dyson Daniels, Karis LeVert, Trey Young, those would be the main safer guys that I would rather get to over here. Richard Say, still gonna fade. I'm not gonna touch that. Guy surprised the hell out of me last game, going up against Orlando. Did not expect for him to go out there and play 26 minutes and give us 24 fantasy points. GPP option, he's sitting at 4K. I would much rather play Williams. Would much rather play Williams. Would you just pair Williams and Mitchell at point guard? Yeah. Yes, I would. I honestly would. Like those two. The fact that, which I can go ahead and go on over here to it because Atlanta really didn't have too much juice from it. Going on over to Dallas. Anthony Davis, de facto, love him. Great spot for him. PJ Washington sitting at 7K, not bad at all. He's going to be out there. He is technically the 1B to Anthony Davis. 37 minutes in the last game. Poor shooting night, 5 of 15 from the field, but still stuff the stat sheet in other areas and has definitely some upside with his assist. I do like that. As long as he's going out there, he's doing a little bit of scoring like what he's doing. I do like that. Unlike Klay Thompson, who was heavily relied on his scoring, not really flirting with that right there. Najee Marsh, 5,300. For some reason, his price came down, even though he is quote-unquote starting as a point guard or whatever it is that they want to run out there. Was efficient from the field, 4 of 6, like it. Don't hate going back to him at 53 if you land there. But outside of that, avoid Spencer Dinwiddie unless they actually announce that he's starting and playing. Even if they do, Brandon Williams, Dante Exum, we saw both these guys go out there and get run. Brandon Williams in that game, which he's listed as questionable due to oblique, well, probable, but in 18 minutes, 5 of 8 from the field, 17 points, 5 assists. Great playmaker. And we've seen this throughout the season, like at least to end the season. The kid is good, especially getting downhill. This matchup, fast-paced matchup, I think it should bode well for him. Ignore the game log in here when you look at it for his last matchup versus the Grizzlies. He played 7 minutes. He got injured in that game. Ignore it. Ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. And even in those 7 minutes, he had 6.5 fantasy points. He had a block, 4 rebounds in 7 minutes. 0 of 2 from the field. Ignore that. I'm ignoring it. 4K, you're going to tell me he's going to go out there and at least play backup point or whatever, flirt with about 20-ish minutes. I will take that at 4K. Now, you can come for the 100 less because Dante Exum, I want to say he was actually the first person off the bench. 4-4 from the field, very efficient, 11 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. I really think the backup guards over here for Dallas, there's some decent value for us, just especially if they are going to run that big lineup. Big thing, we got to see what lineup Dallas is going to run. Of course, backload, be able to mess around, change your line up a little bit and stuff like that. But have a plan if you are going to wait to see what Dallas is going to do with that starting line. And definitely, unlike me last time, pay attention to the damn starting lineup because I fucked that up so hard. With the center rotation, Lively is still, of course, on a minutes limit. Gafford looked like he closed last game, if I'm not mistaken. 20 minutes out there, pretty efficient, 19 fantasy points. I don't mind taking a chance on him at 5,900. I will say that Lively, both these guys, not necessarily, I don't believe that either one of them played going up against Zach Edey since Edey's been getting run, burn, and the minutes and whatnot. So this will be different. This will be interesting. And Dallas Bigs, they can run. They definitely can run up and down the court. But either one of those guys, if I do got to take it, I would take a chance on Lively just because he typically is the one that will start between the two. And 4,500, if you can go out there somehow scrounge a way to get me at least 20 fantasy points, I'll take the damn thing. Looking over on Memphis, Ja being questionable, I'm tossing Ja out. Ja is probably the ultimate GPP option you can take on today, but I am not touching Ja. Instead, of course, this will be a boost to Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., Scottie Pippen Jr. All 3 of those guys will get burn and run. Those will be the main ones they want to focus on. Outside of that, Zach Edey, again, I really don't feel like we've seen him necessarily play versus this Dallas team. Looking at it real quick, 22 minutes versus Dallas, 28.5 fantasy points. And I mean, the dude just gobbles up a ton of rebounds. If he can get any putbacks and things like that, he's going to get there for you. He's going to get there for you pretty much based off of the dude rebounding. And as long as he goes out there and has a decent rebounding night, I can see the upside 6,200. I don't hate or mind taking that right there. But between him, Jaren Jackson Jr., Santi Aldama, as long as they can keep themselves out of foul trouble, they're going to constantly be out there because Dallas is a big team. You got Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, and Derek Lively. All three of those guys are literally playing the bulk of their center rotation in minutes. You're going to see the bigs over here for Memphis have to play. So I think that Edey, we're seeing it. They're running the dude out there 28, 30 minutes. I'll take it, 6,200, not bad at all. Scottie Pippen Jr. sitting at 4,800, of course. That's another value play that we can take. Don't hate it at all. Yes, you can come down off of Davion Mitchell if you wanted to. I'm not saying that you need to, but 4,800, that's good. 30-plus minutes, 24, 25 fantasy points. I just think that, again, for a little bit more bread, Davion Mitchell, he has the upside. And between the two, I would imagine Davion probably will be lower owned than Scottie Pippen's due to price. Santi Aldama, if you want to fade Jaren Jackson Jr., instead just go ahead and get the value big that is going to play the rotation. You can come down here to Santi, 4,700. We know he's going to have to play at least over 20, 25-ish minutes just to go ahead and match with what Dallas goes out there and does. Okay, right now I have Mitchell, Williams, Hero, LeVert, PJ, Aldama, AD at center. I'm on bet his price, just like DK, just doesn't have the option to switch positions. You have 5,100 for the last spot. All right, let's see something here. 5,100 for your last spot. So 5,100 for your last spot. You can either mess with, if the pricing is the same. If the pricing is the same, you can mess with Klay Thompson or Scottie Pippen Jr. Either one of those two. Klay to me is more GPP just because he depends on him actually knocking down shots, like straight up. Klay has to have like that one quarter like what he did last time out versus Sacramento, where he just lit it up from three. Because as you can see, he had 23 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a block and steal. Klay doesn't shoot as efficient as what he did. We're not getting that right there. I would say Scottie Pippen Jr. probably would be the better out of the two for safety. Upside, you take Klay. Exactly what you just said, Gail. Exactly. I was feeling the same way when I was looking at stuff and I was making my line. I'm like, I feel like I missed the ship already on Klay. Like, he popped last time. It's very rare that we see Klay have, especially playoffs, because we already know every series, and it depends on how far they go. Every series, Klay always has one game where it's always the Klay game. It happens. It happened every time over there for Golden State. There will be one game where it's like, all right, Klay knows it's time. He goes out there, he gets hot. It's do or die. Someone else is going to step up. And for me, I do believe that person is Anthony Davis tonight. I mean, he should honestly make Jaren Jackson Jr. a little boy. Like, he should. He should. Klay that's crazy. I mean, before even having that game right there in the limited minutes and role, like, he wasn't playing all that great with Anthony Davis being back either, if we're going to be honest. He was not. Granted, that time that they had off probably helped in regards to actually getting some practice time and playing, but nah. All right, if I was to make a parlay for tonight, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna look at parlay. If I'm taking a parlay for tonight, I'm taking Tyler Hero for 20 to 25 points. Definitely would take him for about 3 to 4 threes for a fact. Andrew Wiggins, 15 points, 4 to 5 rebounds. Not necessarily touch a Bam Adebayo. I'm not gonna go there. Khalil Ware, I'm not touching that. If you want to get spicy, if you want to get like real spicy, Davion Mitchell, I would mess with him for a steal or two. Like, I would at least mess with him for 1 steal. I would take him for at least a steal. And baseline, I'd say 4 assists over there for him. On the Atlanta side of things, I already said it. I like Trey for his double-double. I do think that he's going to have to, we're going to have to see him get into his bag, do some different playmaking, things of that nature. Karis LeVert, 10 to 12 points. Trae Young, double-double. If not the double-double, you can take it for 10 assists, 9, 10, 11 assists in that realm right there. Not necessarily going to mess with his points, but I do believe he gets into double-digit scoring. I'm not just sure how high. Dyson Daniels rebounds, like him for 6 rebounds today. Like, straight up. straight up. 6, 7 rebounds. I really actually am pretty high on him for his rebounds. Over here for Dallas, Anthony Davis, 20 points. PJ Washington, 5 to 6 rebounds. Other than that, not really gonna mess with too much over there. Just for safety wise, I'm not gonna touch Clay, as beautiful as that would be to go back to Clay. Instead, 3-pointers. Desmond Bane, 20 points. Desmond Bane for 2 to 3 threes. Zach Edey, 10 rebounds. And now that's honestly would be it for me right there. So I don't mind switching PJ to Wiggins, but I would not switch LeVert to Ricochet. I would not do that. I would not do that. Ricochet, the run that we saw Ricochet go on to end the season, not the same thing as right now. And you also got to look at it. Ricochet is going to be messing with Andrew Wiggins on defense. That should actually be his matchup. I would not. Just the usage and everything. 26 minutes versus Miami last time, he had 10.5 fantasy points. No. 29 minutes out there for Orlando, going up against Orlando. Played 29 minutes. Yes, he did. 11.25 fantasy points. Unless you got something in your gut that you feel like, yo, and I guarantee you, he will be very low owned. No one is playing him. He's going to be more likely single-digit ownership. Unless there's something that you're seeing that everyone else is not seeing, because I don't see it. I don't see it necessarily, because I feel like he should be the one to lose the minutes for Caris LeVert to be out there playing. Unless Guy and unless Okongwu will get themselves into foul trouble or something like that, I don't see Ricochet being able to be out there on the court to give us something, to give us the upside. But definitely, very good GPP option type, like single-digit ownership, take everything down. If you're really feeling that right there, that's a good snipe if you get there. PJ over PRA. If you can get his PRA still at 24.5, 25.5, yes. Yes, if you can get PJ Washington at 24.5, 25.5, I would take that right there, just for the upside that he does have, because he definitely will be able to get us at least about 4 to 5 assists. I already liked him on his rebounds to go out there and at least get about 5 to 6 rebounds, because looking at him, he was very aggressive on the glass over Anthony Davis. And I did like that upside right there for him. And then we already know he's good for at least about 15, 18 points will be really where I'm going to put him at on today. You add all that up, that's definitely over 24, 25 for his PRA. But yeah, I do like that. Any other questions, y'all? Go ahead and drop them. I got some time. Honestly, after I finish with this, I'm about to go look at some baseball. Came close to hitting my home run parlay. Went 3 or 4. Luckily, round robin it, so was able to make something off of that. Let's say it's a beautiful day out here, man. Beautiful day. If I was building a GPP lineup, so if anyone else has any questions while y'all think about it or think of something, if I'm building a GPP lineup, looking at it, out the gate, you got me really wanting to mess with something for putting Ricochet into something now. Like, I can see the ownership leverage spot. 4,100 for Ricochet. You take him instead of messing around with Caris LeVert. I could definitely fuck with that. I'm still going to stand tall on not messing with Ja for the injury. I still would have to go with my boy Anthony Davis at that 10K. Let me see. Looking at my point guards, Hero, Trey, Ja. Couldn't mess with Tyler Hero. Davion Mitchell. I'm stick with the value. At the 2 guard, Desmond Bane makes a lot of sense. We got enough for that. Small forward, we got Ricochet at the center spot. Davion Mitchell, Desmond Bane, Ricochet, Anthony Davis, Zach Edey. Not bad. I can mess with that. I can definitely mess with that. Oh, today is Flex Friday. Let me pull up Prize Picks real quick and look and see what they got on the board. Let's see if they got anything decent. If my Prize Picks X wants to load. Let's see if they got any assist combos. I say I do like those typically. I ain't really messed with this over here in a while. While visiting the site. All right. Flex Friday, if you guys have not used your Flex Friday token, make sure you guys go to the promo tab and click the damn thing. So that way you're not wasting your time putting together a slip thinking that you're going to get your money back. And then you don't get nothing back. All right. So, oh, wow. We got PRA in the first 5 minutes, offensive rebounds. Actually, someone I would mess with for defensive rebounds. Let me see what they got Edie's line at, because those defensive rebounds couldn't be bad. Let's see, Zach Edey, 7.5 defensive rebounds. I can mess with that. Definitely can mess with that. Definitely gonna mess with that. Zach Edey, 7.5 defensive rebounds. Definitely would mess with that right there. Let's see what they got Trey's assist at, because I really did like his assist today. Let's see, pull up assist. Come on, work with me. Tyler Hero at 5 assists, nah. Duncan Robinson, Kongu, nah. Bam Adebayo, trash. Trey Young, 9, oh wow. Okay, 11 assists. Making a Flex Friday ticket, shit. I take him for his 12.5, just since it's a demon. They gonna need him. But if we're taking Trey's assist at that 11.5, I definitely, well, at that 11, I would mess with the. That's crazy. How are you gonna make Trey Young Goblin 10.5 assist, right? But his regular line is 11. How? Do not take that 10.5 Goblin. That would be that's just stupid as hell. All right, let me see. I'm really not seeing too many assist props over here. Davion Mitchell, wow, never mind. His shit's all 6 assists. I take him for the 4.5. I don't mind that one. Let's see. Well, we got Scottie Pippen Jr.'s assist at. Ja for 6 assists. No. Brandon Williams, damn. They got Brandon Williams up here, unless I'm tripping. They got him at 2.5 assists. Unless I'm tripping. I'm taking my boy for 2.5 assists. Yeah, no, that's shit. You gonna give me that? I'll take it. I'll take that for sure, for sure. All right, I'm gonna look at some points real quick, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. Because I just seen my sister just tried to call me. I gotta call her back. You know, that's crazy. But yeah, Brandon Williams for 2.5 assists. What the hell? Scottie Pippen Jr.'s assist was at 5. I don't mind that at all. Tyler Hero for 25.5 points. Shit. I mean, that's right on the outside. Definitely would mess with both of his Goblins, 19.5, 20.5. Hero was very aggressive in that last game, and as long as he comes out with that same intensity, I love it. I definitely can mess with that. But don't hate that at all. Duncan Robinson is a sneaky play if you think he comes out here and he knocks down his threes, because Miami gives up. I'm not Miami. Atlanta does give up a ton of corner threes. A Kongu 14.5 points. That would be a lean play. Not really touching any Bam props. I just Me personally, I can never trust Bam, and I never get him right. If I'm being honest with you guys on that. I do not get Bam Adebayo correct when I try to figure it out with him. Flores, Arizona Diamondbacks, home run. Alex Burke, nope, that's a trap. What they got? Where's Karis LeVert at? They got Wiggins at 19.5. Damn. If they had Wiggins at like 17 or something like that, I would mess with that. That 19 is like right on the edge. Karis LeVert at 13 points. He had a bad shooting night. I love the minutes. I definitely do think he's going to have some upside. I definitely think he's going to have some upside. I like that 13 points, though. Definitely would take that 13 points. Davion, 10.5 points. That's one you can mess with. That'd be more of a lean. I do like the upside for that one. I do. I'm going to look at that one a little bit more. Y'all going to make me put together a whole damn prop list now. Because I'm looking at the shit now. Jaren Jackson Jr. is at 20.5. Desmond Bain. I think Jaws limited. Desmond Bain, 22.5. I definitely will be taking that. I don't like Santi Aldama, what they got him listed at. Gafford, no. Lively, no. Dante Exum, I'm not falling for that. Brandon Williams, shit, no. Brandon Williams, best play that they got out for him is straight up those assists. 2.5, I don't understand that. Like, why I must really be missing something at that 2.5. PJ Washington, what's your points at? What is 16 I take PJ for that 16.5. Zach Edey, nope. Only trust Edey for his rebounds. That's what he's out there for. Najee Marsh is at 12. I write that on a list to look at a little bit more. Outside of that, AD at 26.5. I mess with AD's Goblin up to 25. All right. On a 2-game slate, is it better to stack a game? I mean, on a 2-game slate, you're gonna have to stack. Like, that's what it comes down to. Whenever you're making your lines, I think if you're looking at it, if this was like a 4-game slate, if I had 3 players from a team, I would be like, damn, I'm doing a little bit too much. But on a 2-game slate, when you have 3 players and maybe you got 2 other players from the other side of that game, typically that would be in the higher total game. As long as the game looks like a high total, I don't mind stacking. I don't. If you're getting like 5 pieces from one game and 3 from the other, that's totally fine. Completely. You just got to make sure that you're actually paying attention to the defensive matchups. The minutes are going to be there. The upside is there. And like I said, if it's the higher total of the game, or you have the game script that you have in mind, definitely that's a lot of what the playoffs come down to. That separates it a little bit from the regular season. There's more game theory that we have to look at and think about. The defensive matchups, who's actually going to be out there to play the minutes. Like, just going through the breakdown and just thinking about, like I said, Karis LeVert's going to be out there for those minutes. He's going to have to. He's one of the primary scorers that they actually use. And I just really feel like he should eat into Ricochet or Guy's minutes. He should. He just had a poor shooting night the last time out. Santi Aldama, he's going to see consistent minutes because Memphis doesn't have any bigs. That's part of the big rotation right there for him. So, no, it's not bad. It's not bad to stack, man. It's not. What up, Ace? All right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here. Go ahead. I'm going to try to make a prop list real quick for PriceX because it's not some bad plays up here. I really do. I do like that. Zach Edey, 7.5 defensive rebounds. Brandon Williams for his 2.5 assists. Definitely wouldn't mind doing that as a power 2. I'm definitely about to look at something to make for my Flex Friday. Good luck to everybody. Hopefully you guys go ahead and take some stuff down. 4-game slate tomorrow. I hope. I'm going to be doing a little traveling tomorrow morning, but depending on what time I get situated will dictate if I have the time to go ahead and get a video out for that. But good luck to you guys. Damn. Okay, I got to go. Everybody calling me. All right, y'all. Peace.